We've made it very clear, only women in women's sports under Title IX. An example in California, a boy who was in track and field. He would have lost every race. Yet in women's sports, he won over 36 medals. Those medals should be returned to the women.
You slightly referenced this, but here is Attorney General Pam Bondi and Linda McMahon talking about how the DOJ is filing suit to actually enforce Title IX in California, which is what he's trying to upend.
Over the past several weeks, the Department of Education has notified the Department of Education in California, as well as the California Interscholastic Federation, that they were in violation of Title IX. They were allowing men to compete in women's sports. Now, this is after years of their being in violation of Title IX. We informed them that if they did not change, that we were going to refer these cases to the Department of Justice, and we have done exactly that.
Thank you, Secretary McMahon, for all of your hard work. And today, the Department of Justice has filed a lawsuit against California Department of Education and the governing body for women's sports in California. We've made it very clear, only women in women's sports under Title IX. An example in California, a boy who was in track and field. He would have lost every race. Yet in women's sports, he won over 36 medals. Those medals should be returned to the women, as well as no boys will be allowed in women's locker rooms. No longer. We have sued Maine. We're in litigation with Minnesota. We've sent multiple letters. And if you do not comply, you're next.
So just to be clear, Title IX was instituted originally so that women would have their own institutions. They would have their own leagues. They would be separate because I think you would agree it would be very hard for you as an incredible female swimmer to compete just with men. So they gave women an opportunity to do that. That's great. So I know you're happy with everything that they're saying there. Are you seeing any traction with more and more parents that are finally willing to stand up against this stuff and defend great women like those two right there for doing the right thing? Or are they still cowed wherever you go?
110%. Well, actually, kind of both. The cultural shift that we have seen since, 2021, 2022, I'll speak to my own personal experience. When I took that initial leap of faith in 2022, I compare the overall feeling, concern of risk and threats of the general public, or at least of my teammates, of people that I knew, of coaches, of athletic directors, of officials, of parents at the time, to where we are now just 3 years later. And it's like we're living in a totally different world. Mm-hmm. So there really has been a huge cultural revolution to where I believe it's much more, it's more widely accepted to say the controversial thing that men cannot become women and vice versa. Again, amazing to me that at one point, at any point in American history or history at all in general, had an entire nation, or again, more broadly, globally, had so many people just in a chokehold, like so scared to say that, and understandably so. Like the risk and the threats, they were real. Like you could lose your job if you said that out loud. Now, again, 3 years later, I don't think the consequences are as severe as they once were, partially because President Trump is now back in the Oval Office, and there's a level of security and cover that comes with that. I can't even imagine the state of this nation under a Kamala Harris presidency. So praise God, Donald Trump won. So we have seen a cultural revolution. That being said, you, of course, still have people who are fearful of cancel culture. But again, hear me when I say cancel culture is losing its grip. Don't just take it from me.